Welcome back to another edition of From the Desk. I am your accountant, Samira Moyadin. If you like what we do and you want to make sure that we keep doing it, please subscribe and support our work. Head over to patreon.com/onthelinemedia. We are bringing you the voices of the people you most need to hear from now, unfettered and unfiltered. So let's take a walk with Israel. The United Jewish Appeals annual Walk with Israel took place on Sunday, May 25th. Israel's supporters marched in the suburbs of Toronto for 3.9 kilometers, raising more than $1 million for the country. Now, what that means or where that money goes, your guess is as good as mine. This is the 56th year of the festival, and from its humble beginnings of hundreds of people, this year, the fervor was high. As tens of thousands came out in support of Israel and sorry, wrong march. Let's get that correct photo up, shall we? This year, it was reported that 56,000 people crawled with Israel, including some of the same Toronto City councillors that voted for the recent bubble bylaw at Toronto City Council. There they are: Tabarnak, Pasternak, Bad Brad Badford, Shelley, my glasses are my only personality, Carol, and multiple motion introducer, Rachel Chernus Lynn. Oh, and last but not least, Councillor Mike Cole. Councillor Mike Cole doing his best Danny Zuko at the Rydell High class reunion. Other notable celebrities at the walk this year were out of Africa-clad rebel without a cause, David Menzies, and self-hating lesbian Levy. Play that clip.
You're openly lesbian. We know what happens to people in the LGBT plus community if they are in Gaza, namely you're brought up to a rooftop and tossed to your death. How is it possible someone is waving that flag amongst people that would like to see them dead?
Dave, this is the great disconnect of this whole campaign since October 7th, that the radical lesbians, mostly radical lesbians, identify with the people who would kill them, the Hamasniks.
Radical lesbians. You'll recall this is the same former Toronto Sun columnist who was chasing me around the University of Toronto, calling me a So, what is Walk with Israel, and where was everyone going? Well, in order to answer that question, we have to look to Israel. Roll that tape. Let me translate what they're singing there. Here goes. Avenge one of my two eyes from Palestine. May their name be erased. And it wasn't just the boys to Zionist men that got in on the day's festivities. The women of light also just want to have fun. Watch this. What are they singing, you may ask? Well, just a little ditty that goes something like, may all your villages burn. You might be wondering, what happens after all that foreplay chanting? Well, then these zit-faced messianic marauders make their maniacal way through the old streets of Jerusalem, spitting on and assaulting Palestinians and chanting, death to Arabs. Death to Arabs. Normal youth, normal celebrations for a normal state, the only democracy in the Middle East. Oh, and here's one of their banners from the Carnival of Carnage. It reads, "Without Nakba, there is no victory. Jerusalem 1967 and Gaza 2025. So while teachers here in Ontario and British Columbia are told they can't teach the history of the Palestinians and the Nakba because it may make some students, read Zionists, feel uncomfortable, Israel openly calls for a second Nakba. The same Nakba that it denies. Denial and perpetuation, all at the same time. Genocide. It's a hell of a drug. So what is marketed to Torontonians as benign support for Israel with cute little typeface is actually a day to celebrate the occupying of the West Bank and Jerusalem in 1967. That's right, Toronto is walking for occupation. And kippa's off to this lady who wore a t-shirt saying, "When they go low, we go high." Who doesn't love a good pun during a genocide? And for those who are interested, you may want to take a good hard look at who the sponsors of this annual walk are. Look, Israel knows the jig is up. Its own media worries no one is buying the propaganda anymore. These are the last whimperings of apartheid. We saw it in South Africa, and more countries are realizing that it's too expensive to support Israel. So those who want to continue to crawl with Israel can do so, but remember, kids, the screenshots are not going to be kind. It's not too late for you to get a ceasefire in while you can. On the Line will continue to bring you these stories. You can support our work at patreon.com/OnTheLineMedia. Join me next time on From the Desk, where we look at an outfit here in Canada called the Abraham Global Peace Initiative. They recently hosted the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations, Gilad Erdan, aka the Shredder. Till next time, stay tuned.